Hey guys, welcome to another awesome, another educative and explosive update today. If you're new to this channel, big hugs, welcome. And if you are an old subscriber who has been here with us, thank you for staying with us. Thank you for subscribing, and we promise to keep updating you and to keep giving you content that is going to help you get that business up and thriving. So today we're going to be talking about the basic cleaning machines you need for your cleaning business. This is a very frequently asked questions. A lot of people ask me this every day. What are the basic machines you need for your cleaning business, especially the people who are starting? I get this question a lot. Now, before we dive into that, you can notice that I actually look kind of like a lizard. I have some dry skin on my face, and that's because I'm undergoing my monthly chemical peel. So you can see I have some dried up acne on my face. So for those of you, especially women who has acne, a lot of problems with pimples and all that, or spots or depigmentation, you can always try out chemical peels. I do it myself every month, at the end of every month usually, and at the end of it, it clears up all the spots and all the acne I have on my face. I've been doing this since 2019. So whenever I have acne on my face or spots or anything, I do a chemical peel. It will dry them up, and in a couple of days it's going to get peeled off, and I will be looking good as new. So forgive the whole lizard looking face thing. Okay, so let's proceed. So the basic cleaning machines you're going to be needing for your cleaning business. Number one, you need a wet and dry vacuum cleaner. A wet and dry vacuum cleaner. You can use a wet and dry vacuum cleaner for all sorts of things. It has multiple functions. Now for me, I use it for floor vacuuming. It vacuums off dirt and dust and even water. That is why it's called a wet and dry vacuum cleaner, because it vacuums up water, it vacuums up moisture. So you can use it to vacuum your floor, get rid of dirt, dust, sand, paper, and water. Now you can also use that to clean windows, because you know this space you have in between windows, the window sills, you usually have a lot of dust and dirt on them, especially in the post-construction cleaning. You will see a lot of dirt and a lot of dust trapped in between the window sills. Now the wet and dry vacuum cleaner comes in pretty handy to suck all those up. Yes, it vacuums, that means it sucks up the dirt. Now you can also use the wet and dry vacuum cleaner for upholstery cleaning. Yes, it's a very basic tool for upholstery cleaning. Now the upholstery cleaning always entails sucking up the dirty dust and dirty water from the sofa. So the wet and dry vacuum cleaner comes in very handy for that. So that's it. You can use it for sofa laundry, you can use it for rug laundry, you can use it for floor vacuuming, you can use it for window cleaning. Now you need a wet and dry vacuum cleaner. It's very important. They have the dry vacuum cleaners, and we also have the wet and dry vacuum cleaners. For those of you who owns a cleaning business, please do not buy the dry vacuum cleaners. You'll find out that you will not even use them at all. It has to be a wet and dry vacuum cleaner. It must be a wet and dry vacuum cleaner, because that's industrial use. You see, there are some machines that are for home use, DIY, that's for homeowners, people that are not into cleaning business. And then there are some machines that industrial use for people who are into the cleaning business. So always make sure that you're buying the industrial use machines and not the home use machines, because those home use, you could try using them for a job, and after like an hour or so it packs, or it's not the performance is not as high as industrial use. So whenever you're buying equipment, always buy industrial use, do not buy home use. Okay, so when you're buying a wet and dry vacuum cleaner, always make sure it is wet and dry. Don't just go and say I want a vacuum cleaner and buy anything you see in the market. Buy a wet and dry vacuum cleaner. Okay, a wet and dry vacuum cleaner, it sucks up moisture, wet stuff, and it sucks up dry stuff. Wet and dry vacuum cleaner. Okay, the second most basic cleaning machine you should have is the floor scrubber. I feel like the floor scrubber should actually be number one because it has a lot of attraction. Actually, a lot of clients always ask for the floor scrubber. Whenever we're going to clean for a client, they always ask, I hope your guys are coming with a floor machine. People usually, so most of my clients actually feel like if you are not using the floor machine while you're cleaning, you're not doing anything. You understand? So the floor scrubber is a huge necessity because it would attract a lot of clients to you and your business, and it would also make your work faster and way easier and more efficient. So you need a floor scrubber. It's a huge attraction. A lot of clients will always come to your page and look at that. They'll come to your page and say, oh, they have a floor scrubber. Okay, let me patronize them. People always ask me for this. They always ask me, bring the floor scrubber around. Bring it along. There's a client I cleaned for a few days ago. There was no electricity, so we couldn't use the floor scrubber, and she actually called back to give a huge complaint about that she doesn't feel like everything was perfectly done because we did not use a floor scrubber. And I totally understand, because all these clients, they feel like if you did not use the floor scrubber, you did not do a perfect job. To them, you did rubbish, you did nothing. So I had to go back with the floor scrubber and with a huge generator to get her floors done. So get yourself a floor scrubber. A floor scrubber does this: it polishes, it washes, and it buffers. Polishing is an activity you do on tiled floor or granite or marble to make them shiny, and buffering is also another process which you use to make the floors shiny. You also use it, so instead of wasting your time using all the small brush, getting your workers to do manual labor, I call it manual labor because it takes so much time. Instead of doing that, washing manually, you use the floor scrubber to do that. You'll find out that it is more efficient, it is faster, and it doesn't get tired. So you can finish a huge haul within few minutes with a floor scrubber instead of with so many workers. So it helps you to cut down on your workers too. Like, let's say if you need 6 guys to do a huge room, with the floor scrubber there, you only need about 3 guys because the floor scrubber will make the work faster. So a floor scrubber is very important. It gives you a very nice output. It gets those floors looking very shiny and nice, and it cuts down on your time, and it cuts down on the number of staff you need for each job. So get yourself a floor scrubber. So we've talked about a wet and dry vacuum cleaner, we've talked about a floor scrubber. We're going to talk about, the next thing we're going to talk about is a window blower. A window blower is this small device. I'm sure a lot of people have seen it in our videos. It's a small device that we use to blow the windows, so the dirt in the windows gets blown off. It applies this air pressure that blows off all the air. So you can actually substitute the blower with the wet and dry vacuum cleaner. It can suck up the dirt. The wet and dry vacuum cleaner can suck up the dirt instead of using the window blower. So this one is not so important. You can leave it if you have a wet and dry vacuum cleaner. Okay, so the next one we're going to talk about is the pressure washer. The pressure washer is the machine which we use to wash interlocks, the exterior. We use the pressure washer to wash the exterior, the outside. You've seen pictures of us washing interlocks with a machine that spurts out water in high pressure. That is the pressure washer. Now, a few days ago, somebody chatted me on WhatsApp to ask me the procedure for washing upholstery or doing upholstery cleaning, and this lady was actually telling me, I'm thinking about using my pressure washer to wash the upholstery, I was like, oh my god, are you serious? You do not use a pressure washer to do upholstery cleaning? That's ridiculous. You would completely destroy the sofa. So you need to know the basic equipment you need and their function. So that is why I'm making this video. Please do not make the mistake of using a pressure washer to do upholstery cleaning. That's ridiculous. So this young lady was going to do that. So the pressure washer is just for washing the exterior. If you need to wash the interlocks, you need to wash the outside. If it's a long window, you can also use the pressure washer to wash that. You can use it to wash the walls on the outside too. So a pressure washer, usually we have the electric pressure washer and we have the petrol pressure washer. Buy the petrol pressure washer. Okay, so you remember I told you that in this industry we have home use cleaning machines and we have industrial cleaning machines. Now for the pressure washer, we have the electric pressure washer that uses electricity. How many times do you see electricity in Nigeria? You rarely see electricity. So, and that I specifically tell people not to buy, because the first pressure washer I bought was an electric pressure washer. It was a Kasha K4 pressure washer. I noticed this, that each time I went on any job and I used that pressure washer, the coil burns. The coil always burns. So every time I finish a job, I'm always running to go and fix the pressure washer. You don't have time for that. It was a huge waste of money for me. Okay, so I always advise. I found out that electric pressure washer is strictly for homeowners. Like, you can keep it in your garage. When you come out, you want to wash your car, you use it to wash your car. Strictly for homeowners. It doesn't last. Okay, it doesn't last for industrial use. So I always advise people, buy a petrol pressure washer. What I use right now is a petrol pressure washer. I got so tired of fixing that Kasha K4 pressure washer, electric pressure washer, that I got myself a petrol pressure washer, and I've had it now for almost 2 years, and I have never had an issue with it. I put in my petrol, I put in my oil. It starts like a generator. A lot of you know it. This car wash people always uses that same machine to wash cars, and I have to tell you, the difference with the electric pressure washer is that the petrol pressure washer has a very high pressure. The pressure is fantastic. The pressure is so impressive. Like, the first time I used it, I was like, wow, I wasted my time and money buying that electric pressure washer. The petrol pressure washer's pressure, it is so high that if there is cement on the floor, it gets the cement right out. If there is grass or weed, it gets it right out. Now, people usually come to ask, Chi, what chemical should I use to wash interlocks? You don't use chemicals to wash interlocks. You don't use chemicals to wash concrete. You use a pressure washer. Now, the pressure washer machine, the pressure is so high that it would rip off any dirt that is on the floor. You don't need any chemicals to do that. The pressure washer is enough. At some point, even this pressure washer hurt one of my workers, because while they were pressure washing, I don't know what the young guy was thinking, but he put his finger close to the mouth of the pressure washer, I don't know, to rinse it or something, and the pressure from the machine cut his finger. He had a cut from that. So that's to tell you how high the pressure washer is, how high the pressure from the pressure washer is. So it's so high that any dirt it comes across on the floor is completely rip it off. It's quite impressive. So the pressure is higher than that of the electric pressure washer. The electric pressure washer for me now seems like child's play. The pressure isn't high enough. Now, we've talked about the wet and dry vacuum cleaner, we've talked about the floor scrubber, we've talked about the window blower, and we've talked about the pressure washer. Another thing we should talk about is the sofa cleaning machines. Let's talk about the sofa cleaning machines. These ones I mentioned earlier are house cleaner machines. Okay, they are basic cleaning machines you need for your deep cleaning or post-construction cleaning. Now, for sofa cleaning machines, you need a dryer. You need an industrial dryer. Now, the industrial dryer is used to dry the sofa after the whole process. You cannot do sofa laundry without drying the sofa. The sofa has to be crispy dry before your team leaves a compound. So you need a dryer. So after the process of washing and cleaning, you use the dryer to dry the upholstery. Now, drying takes so much time, so I always advise people to buy like 2, 3, 4, 5 dryers if possible, so that you cut down on your drying time. You must have a dryer for upholstery cleaning. It's very important. You cannot leave a chair wet, or a sofa wet, or a rug wet. It must be dry before you leave. That's how it's done. So after every upholstery job we do, the chair is crispy dried before we leave. So you need the dryer. If not, you will ruin that chair. If you don't have a dryer, that chair would smell, it would stink, because there's so much moisture trapped inside, and you will ruin it, and you have wahala with your client. So get an industrial dryer. It comes in 2 sizes. The big size, which is sold for about 130k, 150k, 200, 300k. Then we have the medium ones that goes for, we have the medium one in Tokumbo that goes for 50,000 naira. So get the one you can afford. Okay, still on sofa cleaning machines, you need a steam cleaner. I use a Kasha SC2 steam cleaner. We are currently selling that for 130,000 naira, and we use it to eliminate stains on sofa. You know how when you want to do your laundry, you want to wash your clothes, you soak them in hot water before washing them? That is what the steam cleaner does. It makes the dirt soft enough that you don't need to scrub too hard, you don't need to wash too hard, you don't need to do so much. The stains will go right off, and it also gives the chair this nice crispy smell. It also ensures that the chair does not stink after you're done. It gives the chair a very nice immaculate crispy smell. It's nice. So get yourself a steam cleaner. Now another thing you need is you need an extractor. For an extractor, that means an extractor is a device that you use to suck up the water and dirt from the chair after you're done. An extractor could be either you could use a wet and dry vacuum cleaner. Yeah, that's the cheapest option. You can get a 20-liter wet and dry vacuum cleaner, which is 65,000 naira, or you can get a 30-liter wet and dry vacuum cleaner, which is 80,000 naira. Or if you want the highest performance or the best suction machines, which is the type I use, get a Pusi 10. A Pusi 10 costs 750,000 naira, and they also have the small size of the Pusi 10, which is the Pusi 8. The only difference is that it's smaller than the Pusi 10. It's the same function, which is 540,000 naira. These are the highest performance extractor machines, Pusi 8 and Pusi 10. Now, if you cannot afford the Pusi 8 and Pusi 10, you can do the wet and dry vacuum cleaner. Just go with what you can afford. As time goes on, I even started with a wet and dry vacuum cleaner. And as time went on, I was able to afford getting a Pusi 10. So don't give yourself so much pressure. Don't kill yourself. If what you can afford is a wet and dry vacuum cleaner, get a wet and dry vacuum cleaner, manage it, and as time goes on, get the professional extractor machine. A Pusi 8 and Pusi 10, the most amazing feature it has is that it sprays, it rinses and it extracts. So it sprays water and it extracts water. So it sort of rinses the chair. It's so amazing, and the suction power is so high. It's so high that after you're done using a Pusi 8 or Pusi 10, the chair is like almost completely dried, that you only have to use the dryer for maybe an hour or less than an hour, because the extraction machine sucks up, the sucking power is so high, it's so impressive. It sucks up most of the water and dirt. That is why I love my Pusi 10 and my Pusi 8. The suction power is so high that I don't dry for so long. Unlike the wet and dry vacuum cleaner, I told you guys I've used a wet and dry vacuum cleaner before. Well, it took so long to dry because the suction power is not as strong, so it took so long for the sofa to get dried after the whole process. So this is why I prefer a Pusi 10 or a Pusi 8, because of the suction power. So now we've talked about deep cleaning machines, which is wet and dry vacuum cleaner, floor scrubber, pressure washer, window blower. We've talked about sofa cleaning machines, which is the dryer, the steam cleaner, and the wet and the extraction machine, which is the Pusi 8, Pusi 10, and wet and dry vacuum cleaner. We also have for extraction machine, we also have the Rock Doctor. Rock Doctors are really cool, they're really nice. I don't own one myself because I prefer Kasha products. I prefer German technology, so I don't own one myself, but I've had great reviews about it. It's nice, so if you can afford to get that, a Rock Doctor costs 600,000 naira. Then they have the really small size, which costs about 250k, so you can also get that. But for me, I still maintain the best in the industry for me is Kasha products. So almost all my machines you notice are Kasha. Even though they are really expensive, their performance wows me, so I stick with them. So that's basically it machine wise. What did I omit? Cleaning machines, I believe I have talked about most of them. So prepare your budget, prepare your mind, save up money, stop using your profits to eat suya. Buy machines. It attracts clients a lot. Buy your machines.